Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, you are watching the podcast, The Life in the Mirror. And I want to thank you for taking your busy time to watch this video. Today's topic is going to be about going nowhere. Going nowhere. Let me read you the definition of nowhere. Not in or to any place, not anywhere. Having no prospect of progress or success. Now, when you going nowhere, that's like being in quicksand. And when you sitting there fighting it, and the more you fight when you in quicksand, the more you sink. That's like when you're doing the same thing all the time, doing the same thing and not changing it up. And if you notice, you're expecting a different result, especially when you're doing the same thing but you're expecting a different result. It's the same thing happens. Let me read this quote to you. Worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. Let me read that to you again. Worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. Now, if you notice about a rocking chair, if you notice you're rocking back and forth, it giving you something to do. Yes. Even you rocking that rocking chair give you something to do. But if you notice in that rocking chair, you're going nowhere. You stay in the same place, you stuck in the same place, you're going nowhere. And that's what happens when you go nowhere, when you get stuck mentally, whatever is happening in your life situation, you get stuck and you just stay in that same spot. Even when you take one step forward, you get two steps knock you back down. You just stay there. Now, let me give you some points of what you need to do to get out of that mindset of going nowhere or whatever situation, circumstance you were in. First, you have to acknowledge. That's like you going and you confessing something that you have done. For like as an example, you have to acknowledge to yourself. You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? Something is happening, is keeping me from moving, not moving forward, and getting stuck in nowhere. Something has happened. You have to acknowledge to yourself, kind of like the prodigal son when he finally came to his senses, and when he was eating the hog pen with the pigs, and he came to his senses and he said, "My father, I was eating better with my father." He came to his senses. You have to acknowledge. You have to focus on your values. So when you talk about focus, that means you have to realize what's going on. You have to get mentally focused. Some people will write out notes or put and post it around the house. And so when they look at it, they stay focused on that, staying focused on the positive and not the negative. Again, you have to realize, like you have to acknowledge, you have to realize what's going on and then but focus on the positive. Even when something knock you down, but you keep mentally focused on what you need to do. Choosing healthy habits. Like you're on a diet. You're choosing healthy foods. Choosing those healthy habits. For example, when you choose healthy habits, so like say it's somebody in your life and they stopping you from doing what you need to do in life, right? And they keep stopping you. A good habit is say, you know what, this person is stopping me. This person is hindering me from doing what I'm supposed to be doing. A healthy habit is say, you know what, I'm sorry, but you right now you can no longer be in my life. You might have to walk that person out of the door and out of your house and out of your mind and saying, I'm about to choose healthy habits. But I'm only going to bring people in my life who help me be successful. That's choosing a healthy habit. Talk to someone. Uh, if if something's going on, don't be afraid to talk to someone. Don't be afraid to open up and say, look, this is what's going on in my life. See, what happens is you keeping that inside, and what's happening, and when you finally burst, you just burst out, and people are like, man, what's wrong with that person? You have to talk to someone. You, especially if somebody who's been through what you've been through, and they was in a situation not going nowhere. If you go talk to that person and say, what did you do to be successful to get out of the situation? What did you do to keep you from being stuck and going nowhere? Talk to someone. And when you feel lost, find yourself. Have you noticed when you hit rock bottom, that's when you find yourself? Sometimes it takes you hitting rock bottom to find yourself. It forces you to look at yourself to say what is going on. Just like when I was talking about acknowledging it. When you hit rock bottom, it makes you find yourself. Now you only have two choices. I'm gonna stay stuck, or I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna get away from this situation. Two choices. So again, when you feel lost, it helps you find yourself. Now, when you're going nowhere, you definitely can move forward. You definitely get yourself out of this situation. Uh, put healthy habits, put the correct people in your life, going to the correct people, talking to somebody, and not holding it in. Let acknowledge, admitting it. I have this problem, and that's okay. And I want to thank you for watching this video. God bless.